For a long time, remote work was framed as an experiment. Then the experiment worked, productivity held up, costs fell, talent pools widened. By most measurable metrics, remote work didn't fail. So when companies began pushing people back into offices, many assumed something had gone wrong. That productivity must have dropped. That collaboration had collapsed. That innovation was suffering. But if you look closely, those explanations don't quite hold. Over the past year, return to office mandates have reappeared across industries, even in organizations where productivity metrics never collapsed. The shift hasn't been driven by new evidence that remote work failed. It's been driven by something else, because the return to office push isn't really about productivity, it's about control. To understand this, it helps to step back from individual companies and look at the systems they operate inside. Organizations don't optimize purely for output. They optimize for predictability, hierarchy, risk management, and power distribution. Remote work disrupted all four. When work went remote, something subtle happened. Managers lost visibility, promotion pathways blurred, informal signaling weakened, and leverage shifted, slightly, toward employees. Not because workers suddenly became more powerful, but because locations stopped filtering opportunity. That shift created discomfort. Not everywhere, not immediately, but structurally. In an office, power is reinforced every day in quiet ways. Who is seen? Who is heard? Who overhears conversations? Who gets pulled into rooms where decisions form? These signals matter more than most people realize. Remote work flattened them. Performance could still be measured, but presence could not. And presence has always played a quiet role in how organizations function. This is why many return to office policies don't arrive with hard productivity data. Instead, they arrive wrapped in language about culture, alignment, mentorship, collaboration. These ideas aren't false, but they are incomplete. What return to office policies really do is reintroduce friction. They make it harder to live far away, remain invisible, opt out quietly, challenge norms without consequence. That friction doesn't reduce productivity. It reshapes who stays. From a systems perspective, this matters. In tight labour markets, flexibility favours workers. As hiring slows and uncertainty rises, organisations regain leverage, and policies change accordingly. Return to office becomes a way to apply pressure without calling it pressure. Some people comply, some leave, some quietly step back from ambition. That sorting isn't accidental. This is why return to office decisions often arrive in waves, not tied to individual performance, not tied to team output, but aligned with macroeconomic shifts, investor expectations, hiring slowdowns, cost control cycles. In that context, offices function as filtering mechanisms. They reassert hierarchy, they restore visibility, they reward proximity to power. This also explains why return to office affects people unevenly. Early career workers feel the most pressure. Mid-career professionals weigh trade-offs. Senior leaders are often exempt. The system reinforces itself. Geography starts to matter again. Not everywhere, not for everyone, but enough to change outcomes. For students and early career professionals, this creates a new reality. Remote work expanded access, but advancement often remains local. The people who get mentored, the people who build trust, the people who are invited into ambiguity, those dynamics didn't disappear. They paused. Return to office didn't bring back productivity, it brought back structure. This is why debates about remote work feel unresolved, because they aren't really about where work happens. They're about how organizations maintain control in a distributed world. The deeper pattern looks familiar. When flexibility expands, systems eventually respond with constraint. We see this in regulation, compliance, AI governance, financial controls. Freedom moves first, structure follows. Remote work didn't eliminate hierarchy. It blurred it. Return to office is one way hierarchy reasserts itself. This doesn't mean remote work is disappearing. It's becoming selective, hybrid for some, flexible for a few, structured for most. And that selectivity is the point. If you're trying to understand the future of work, the mistake is focusing on preference. Who wants to be remote? Who prefers the office? Those are surface questions. The more important question is, where does power need to sit for organisations to function? Return to office is one answer to that question. Not because people stop being productive, but because systems prefer visibility, predictability, and control. Once you see that, the conversation shifts. Return to office stops being a moral argument and starts looking like what it really is: a structural response to a world where work became flexible, faster than institutions could adapt. That's why the return to office push isn't about productivity. It's about restoring balance on organisational terms, and understanding that distinction matters more than choosing sides.